In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a zipper in jeans. So for starters, you have to take the old zipper out. So on the inside, this inner flap has to be completely free, and this has to be open here to slide the zipper out. Has to be completely open down at the bottom. And you also, and this is what a lot of people don't know, you have to take the double top stitching out from here and take it all the way out. So this, I have it mostly done just to save time, but I do need to take all of this out as well, all the way so this is completely open. There we go. So then we take all the top stitching off. You're going to just scratch those threads off like that. Okay, so now we have our new zipper. So we're going to start from this side. We're going to open this up, and we're going to slide this. We don't want the teeth to be too close to the edge because then it catches. So we want to move it over right about to here. And we're going to push this up in just about to where it would be. It's a little different replacing a zipper than it is actually making a zipper. I mean on a new garment. So you're going to line this zipper so it's lined up evenly along here. So right now we're going to kind of pull this out and we're going to stay stitch this in place just like that. All the way down to the bottom. And then we'll trim that off. Now, I'm going to lie this and make sure it goes up in, lay this on so it's nice and even. Make sure everything's lined up, and without catching the top one, start from here. You don't want to catch the waistband in this one because we're going to sew across the waistband after and redo the top stitching. So back and forth. Keeping about, I keep 1/2 of the foot in between this and the zipper teeth, that you know you're in the proper amount. And you come down right about to the end of there like that. Trim that off. Then zip your zipper shut. I just like to trim these off so it's nice and tidy. And on the back. Alright, so then we're going to zip this up. And we're going to lay these so that this looks nice and even. So let's get this all put back like it's sewn. We're going to lay that down so that this is going to look just like it has a zipper in it. So then what I do is I take a couple of pins and I pin right there through the layers just so I know how to hold it. So that just holds it for me. And then I unzip the zipper. And then with my fingers I hold the zipper where the pin was and make sure I just go through the one layer this time. And then I turn it over. Now this I know is the placement for where the zipper is going to be. So I line that up nice and straight. And then I just pin through this one inner flap, not letting the pin come all the way through. So that's why we have to have this free. So I line that up here, just like that. So we're going to stitch through here, because if we did here, we'd have stitching coming right here, which is not a spot we want top stitching, because the top stitching actually goes around the edge and is only decorative. So now we flip this over, and we're going to stay stitch this right on the outer edge. So I slide my pin out. And we go right along the outer edge. Trimming the threads, and then we're going to sew it again right inside of that. Just so our foot is right along the edge of those teeth. So now we have a double top stitching there, which is going to make it nice and strong. So now we're going to pull it closed like that, and we'll check everything's lining up nicely. So now we're going to do the top stitching on the zipper. So when you do your top stitching, you can follow the holes from the previous stitching. So you're going to stitch down, but you're going to stop here. You stitch down this one, but you stop right about here before you make the curve. I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to come down the inner line of stitching first, making sure everything underneath is staying flat and nothing's caught up underneath. So let's stitch down the first row. When you get to where the curve starts, you can actually swing with your needle down and come over, and then you're going to go back up the other side and get your double top stitching. This is decorative and it also holds the flap down. And then trim it off. So now this is completely keeping the two sides free from each other. Trim all the threads off, keep it nice and tidy. So now we're going to actually zip it up. And now with this stitching, making sure you have none of it underneath caught up in, we're going to lay this flat and we're going to top stitch all of this close. These are old threads from the previous stitching. So now we're going to put all that stitching back in place. So you overlap a bit, you go back and forth. Oh, my needle unthreaded. Just get that threaded back up. Alright, so we'll go back and forth here, and we're going to come up. You can see the guide where these top stitchings were. You're going to follow them. And I like to go back over this a few times because I want a lot of strength here. So this time you will sew through both layers from the opposite side and from this side. This is where they connect, only at the bottom. This part we want free so that when we open it, this is not attached to the other side. But down here we want it to stay attached. So, keeping everything straight, we're going to top stitch and we're going to meet our stitching up here. Alright, so we're going to go back and forth a couple times. And then we're going to trim this off. Got that knotted up somehow. Get that out. Alright, so I'm going to do it one more time because that knotted up. It's nice to have a nice heavy stitch on the bottom here. It looks nice and it's added strength. And we meet up with our other stitching. We turn and we go back. I like to go back and forth here a couple times just for really nice strength. And then we come back down the other side, just like this. Keep checking underneath that you're not catching anything underneath. And again here, I like to go back and forth a few times. Then we're going to come back down and do the double top stitching on the way down here. So we're almost finished. Then we're going to trim our threads from underneath. So now we're going to unzip it. And we're going to redo our top stitchings here. So right here, I'm going to match it up to the original stitching.